Yes, you can see from the title. Yes, I'm biased. Well, that's my intro. So, any viewers can guess that I want from a different country because in the US, the film released on April specifically will officially debut in North America as well as several countries in Europe on April 14, 2023. Well, in many seriousness, I think it does live up through the hype that what you think. This is what industry in filmmaking nowadays should make. The film had a really well done character, it had a snappy pacing, and also really fun throughout the form start to finish. But first, let me do the intro. Will come short, but definitely gorgeous, beautiful. The character movement are fluid, good hand-drawn animation, and it's the expectation that it should be. Except one. Do I ever mention about rendering? There's a scene, it had just a little bit rough around the edges in that scene. The reason why I want to talk about it, because even in the film, purely 2D, it's common to make 3D effect or rendering to make the scene movement in the background a lot fluid. But in that scene, the problem that I had is that like the background are really noticeable because they are rendered. Like you can just see from the background, you can see that don't have enough time to draw it, and it'll be bothered for some, but for me it doesn't really. As simple as it is, the film budget got more manageable than this film. That I can see why, because the film had bigger scale than it should be. I mean, big by means is really big than the trailer shown. Part 2, story. When the title dropped for the first intro, probably the most jaw-dropping moments I've ever seen, and it should be a crime if you got spoiled. The cast, it's fantastic at its core because you will realize how much in the previous film side characters felt thrown away most of the time. And just follow along the main character, and this has happened to your name, whether your name or whether me too, or mostly through the 6 side characters that I don't want to spoil about because there is a lot of side characters in this film. And yeah, it does makes the character more alive and had a purpose and goal, which make the story more engaged. And the struggle that the main character had through the quest line will be felt more in depth because of her own action. And yeah, I quite draw the line there, but you can just watch it for yourself. And I think that's the impressive part throughout this film, that I think Makoto Shinkai just realized that his side character is just a little bit more writing to it, so that's our reason they add more depth. It's good. I think they done a pretty good job with this main side characters more than in the previous film. The element of this movie is what you expected, comes from Makoto Shinkai, but it had that ambition that other film feels smaller in comparison. I'm just gonna say, like, this film is big, like massive. It feels like massive because the scale and the story. It's a simple story. It's not really hard to follow, but I'm gonna say it's big. Bro, it's big. And also for those who follow Makoto Shinkai for a long time, might be familiar with the world building. Might be too much. Like, yeah, because Makoto Shinkai didn't shy away using a place based on from his previous film. So if you feel familiar with it, it's because it does using that specific place for the entirety of the film, and it does might be turned off for some people, but not gonna lie, I don't really bother it that much because it would be ridiculous in this world if they didn't connect it at all. Like, They are just in Japan, dude. Yeah, the conclusion is, yeah, I can safe to say this is another masterpiece that Makoto Shinkai ever made. And yeah, also I just realized in Japan, Suzume wins at the box office, which is cool. I mean, quite deserve it actually because it's it's a really good film. Like I mean it. I'm not trying to like baffling or anything. Like of course there's some problem that I will think every critic or review might be had, but I don't feel those. Like I might be have to see many creators, and that might be in April. So I might be really excited to see it. So yeah, see you guys later.